So I made a purchase. Actually, several purchases. You see, I have no self-control. That's kind of how it is at the end of the day. I have no self-control. And I was looking at card games. I stumbled on Evolve. So, backstory. Last summer, I had a buddy who was like, we should play Shadow vs. Evolve. I really like this Angel dude talking about Lucifer. I was like, yeah, I'll play Shadow vs. Evolve. Sure. And then our locals never got the product in time, and I moved to college. So I never played it. Flash forward here, I forget how it got brought up in my mind. But something reminded me of Shadow vs. Evolve. And I went, man, I could go for a game that's just anime magic, where I just get to play a combo deck, or a controlled deck, or an aggro deck, because playing like stuff like Flesh and Blood has made me miss those things, and I want those things back. So I decided to maybe go look for some Shadowverse decks and maybe pick it up. Right? There's some people back home at my locals that are interested, and I think would be down to play. I'm playing anything that isn't Vanguard or Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Modern Yu-Gi-Oh! I'd love Edison. Edison's don't even get me started on how much I love Edison. But I don't want to play Modern Yu-Gi-Oh! And Vanguard's a poopy doo-doo hole right now. But people have said they're interested in Shadowverse. So I bought a Shadowverse deck. Specifically, I bought all of the Shadowverse decks because I couldn't decide, and I had a $100 bill. And all of them were that $100 bill. And cash isn't real anyway. It's like Monopoly money. So it was fine. I basically got them all for free. And I figured, I might as well open one on the channel. And that being the one I am most interested in playing, being Runecraft. Those of you that know me would have never guessed this, because I normally hate the Spellslinger decks. Normally I'm a big mid-range guy, so normally you would think that like Swordcraft would be my Jimmy Jam, or maybe like Abysscraft, or whatever they're calling it. I think it's Abysscraft. That'd be more my Jimmy Jam. But after playing Flesh and Blood and playing characters like Icelander and Kano, I've kind of come around to the whole spell-slinging control vibe, and then playing Rai and Grand Archive. I want to try slinging some spells in Shadow vs. Evolve. So I'm going to open the spell-slinging Mysteries of Conjuration Runecraft deck. Also, the girl on the front's pretty cute. So there's that. Peep the setup, boys. It looks pretty dang good. Actually, the coloring's not great. My light balance isn't great, but I'm just gonna live with it because I don't really feel like fixing it. So you're gonna have to deal. So let's pop this baby open. Let's take a look what we got inside. I have the camera set up very. I didn't mean to do that. I really like the box, so I wanted to keep it. So that's awkward. I'm just too strong, I guess. Too much power. Okay, I just gotta find the center, mark it with my brain. Cool, we're good. So we have some tokens that I probably will never use. Ooh, actually I might. Bane, Intimidate, maybe I'll use some of these. This could be chill. Well, they give you a life counter. That's actually really nice. And like a manual and a playmat, all in this nice little package. Is it the... Actually, wait, hold on. I gotta check this. Sorry for the sounds. ASMR. Y'all like ASMR, right? I'm like ASMR Spider-Man. If y'all know who I'm talking about, y'all know who I'm talking about. Oh, this is actually just a... Wow, this thing's already, like, damaged. Like, warped. Scuffed piece of paper. But it works. Probably just gonna use my phone, but, does the job. We got some tokens. We have a lot of tokens. Oh, that's nice that they give you these. I'll probably use, like, the Ward, Assail, Bane ones. I can see me doing that, but probably not using the... I'll just use dice, because I'm a normal person. But that's nice. We do... Oh, let's go. The rulebook and playmat are separate things. That is so nice. That's so nice. That makes me so happy. I hate when they put the playmat on the back. I hate when they put the rules on the back of the playmat. Oh, wow. These are actually pretty concise and small. Dang. I hate when they put the rules on the back of the playmat. So that way, for the middle of the game, you're like, I gotta look at the rules. You have to flip your whole playmat over. It's booty hole. They put anything on the back. Oh, I like when they put, like, combos, guides on the back of the mat. But that's fine. That's a Vanguard thing. Sick. All right. Put that over there. Let's get into the real meat and potatoes of this nice, juicy deck. First thing you're going to notice, ripping this out of the packaging, So you get a bunch of stuff in here, right? You get your main deck, right, of dudes. You get the main deck. You get the evolved deck, which is kind of like an extra deck. I'll go into how this works in a second because it's actually really cool. You get your leader, who's a thick slab of cardboard. I don't know if y'all can see how thick. I'll show you how thick this is. You get 3 evolve points that you get to use throughout the game, and you get a stack of tokens. And these tokens are quite thick. Look at that. Look how thick this one token. That's one token. I am so... Oh, I have to get used to how this is backwards. My camera's upside down. But look how thick that is. That's one token. For reference, this is a card. Oh, no, it's 2 tokens. I'm actually a moron. That's not 1 token. I have lied to you. I have deceived you. I'm going to cut to this and make it look real. That's a token compared to a normal card. Look at that. It's so thick. I actually kind of like it. I'm not going to lie. So you get some thick tokens. And your leader card is also a thick token. So have fun sleeving that. These are probably not gonna. These are normal cards. You can sleeve those. But let's talk about the deck. So Shadowverse, for those that aren't aware, is a video game. It is a... What is the word? It's a digital card game. That's what I'm looking for. I couldn't think of the word digital. So there are a lot of mechanics. It's basically like when it came out, it's like anime Hearthstone. That's the best way to think about it. It's like anime Hearthstone. So there's a lot of mechanics that work in a digital game that... This is textured? Oh, it's textured. Oh my gosh, it's textured. That's so cool. Okay, sorry. I'm admiring the cards because they're kind of pretty. So there's a lot of mechanics that work in a digital card game that do not work in a paper card game. One of them being an entire class, which is the deck color / faction. You can only have cards of that class / neutral colors, or that's not neutral, / neutral in your deck. So they had to like kick out a whole class, but so they translated some mechanics in a pretty fun way. One of those in the digital game. Every card can evolve, where you spend one of your mystical evolve points, and you flip your card over, and it gets stat buffs. It gets stat buffs and a new like evolve effect. But in this game, they can't make every card just double-sided, or you wouldn't be able to shuffle up an unsleeved deck. So what they do is instead they make the evolve forms a separate deck of 10 cards, and only some cards can evolve. So you have to pick and choose. So the cards that can evolve will have evolve costs on them. Oh wow, this is actually horrendous. They'll have, oh my lord, they'll have evolve costs that you can pay to evolve them. And when you do that, you take the evolved version of that card from your evolved deck and you put it on top. And that card's now evolved, and you have an evolve effect you'll get, and you'll get buffed stats. So that's how they translated that into paper. I think it's cool. It's like a pseudo extra deck. It's kind of like, I kind of like to think of it as like almost an Edison extra deck, where it's like kind of like synchro material where you can only make it with certain cards, but it's very, very one-to-one. So you get to pick what cards you want to be able to evolve in your deck, and you have to pick and choose. Other than that, it plays like Magic. You get 1 pip of mana every turn. There's no like putting a card from your hand down as a resource. You just get a pip of mana every turn. Is this centered? Yeah, there we go. And then everything has attack, defense. Cool thing about this is since it's a digital card game, damage sticks, and they kept that in the paper card game, which unfortunately means you're gonna need a lot of dice. But that's fine. I think it makes combat really interesting. This F effect is called Fanfare. It's just ETB. It's when it enters the field. You do the thing. So this is your big guy that you want to play. He's Fanfare. So when he enters the field, you deal 3 damage to each enemy follower. That's your dudes, your units, your monsters, your creatures, whatever. You deal 3 damage to every enemy follower on the field. And then Spell Chain 7. Spell Chain counts the number of spells in your graveyard. In the digital card game, the way it works is it counts the amount of spells you've played that turn. But that's really hard to track in real life, so they made it instead counts the number of spells in your bin. So if you have 7 spells in your bin, you deal 5 damage to everything instead. Then if you have 15 spells in your bin, you'll do another 5 to the enemy leader. So this is your big finisher that you want to smack down to clear the board. So you get 3 of him. Also so nice, you get 3 copies of everything you need in this deck. You don't have to buy multiple starter decks. I'm pretty sure you just need the one. 3 copies of Rune Blade Summoner. Fanfare Spell Chain 5, she gets +4/+4. And Spell Chain 10, she gets Storm, which means, I think it means she gets, she can attack the turn she comes into play, like Rush. Creatures have, followers have summoning sickness in this game, so the turn you play them, they can't attack. I think if they have Storm, they can do that. So if you have Spell Chain 10, she's a 5/5 for 3 that swings as soon as she comes down. So this is another late game card. She's a 1/1 for 3, so very bad early, but as soon as you get your Spell Chain up, she becomes pretty good value. So I think that's what a lot of this deck is going to be. It's going to be units that are pretty weak, but when you have a lot of spells in your graveyard, they get overstated, right? So they start very understated, but once you have spells in your bin, they get overstated. I think that's fun. Demon Flame Mage is just a 3/3 for 3 that can be evolved, and it evolves into this Demon Flame Mage, who says, on evolve, deal 2 damage to each enemy follower on the field. So you can play a Demon Flame Mage, and then whenever you want, you can pay a play point to evolve her, and immediately hit everything for 2. So if your opponent's trying to go wide with a bunch of little guys, you can just play her, evolve it, not anymore. Then we have Insight, our first spell. It's a quick, which means you can play it on your opponent's turn. In Shadowverse, the digital card game, you can't play on your opponent's turn. So something new in Evolve is being able to play spells on your opponent's turn, which is super awesome. Insight is just a 1 play point. Quick spell, it says draw a card. It just cycles itself. It's like Upstart Goblin, except it actually costs mana. It costs resources. But you play it, you draw a card, spell on your grave for your spell chain. Seems fine. Fire Chain is a 2 play point quick. Select up to 2 enemy followers on the field and deal 3 damage divided between them. Oh, this is fun. I like cards like this, like Forked Bolt, where you just you divide damage up among stuff. So you can either shoot one thing for 3, or I can divide it up and like hit something for 1 or hit something for 2, right? I think that's fun. That's cool. I like that. Then we have Lightning Shooter, 4 mana or play points. Fanfare, select an enemy follower on the field and deal 2 damage. Spell Chain 5, deal it 4 instead, and Spell Chain 10, deal 2 damage to that follower's leader. So she is a mini version of the Mithril Golem. She's just a smaller version. You play it for 4, Spell Chain's less, another board wipe. So this deck is very much just trying to keep board wiping your opponent. You only get 2 of her, okay. Keep board wiping your opponent, keep him out of guys, until eventually you drop a fat Mithril Golem and kill him. Seems fun. Penguin Wizard, I know this guy. You can evolve him, and then you can pay his cost as you rest him, so you turn him sideways. You discard a spell and draw a card. So ways to filter, fuel your spell chain, always good. And he evolves into Penguin Wizard, a 2/5. On evolve, you refresh it, and then you can once again tap it to discard and draw. So one of your plays is you play it for 2, tap him, or rest him, whatever. I think it's exhaust him. Pitch a spell, draw a card, and then you can play another play point, evolve him. When he evolves, he refreshes, and then you can again exhaust him to discard another card, draw a card. It's a good way to get your graveyard full of them spells, so you can start slinging them, get that spell chain up. Then we have Sammy, Wizard's Apprentice. Anyone ever seen The Sorcerer's Apprentice? Good movie. I like it a lot. You can evolve her for 2 play points, and then Fanfare, you look at the top card of your deck, and you may put it into your cemetery. So you can play her, peek at the top. If it's a spell, chuck it into the bin. Free spell chain, baby. And she evolves into, looks like more of a wizard, not that much of an apprentice anymore, more of a full-fledged wizard. And then on evolve, each player draws a card. So you play her, stack the top of your deck. You can either discard it if it's a spell, or if it's a card you really like, you can evolve her and draw it. So that's fun. Then we got Wind Blast. 1 play point, not a quick. Select an enemy follower on the field, deal it 2 damage. Spell Chain 10, deal it 4. That's it. So you either shoot something for 2, or if you get to late game, Spell Chain 10 and start shooting stuff for 4. So you get 2 of those. Pretty cool. Sorcery Cache. Quick. For 2 play points, look at the top 4 cards of your deck. You reveal a spell from among them and add it to your hand. You may also put a spell into your cemetery. Put the remaining cards on the bottom of any order. Ooh, I like that. You can just like bluff 2 play points, and then they have to play around your spells, and then you go, all right, cool, end of your turn, I'll just Sorcery Cache. Check the top 4, grab a spell, bin a spell, get my spell chain. Fiery Embrace, 4 play points, quick. Select enemy follower on the field and destroy it. Removal, very good. Spell Chain 10, deal 3 damage to that follower's leader. Okay. Alright, I like this. I like this card. I'm here for this. Fiery Embrace? I only get 2? That's sad. I like this card a lot. But there's a lot of card draw in here, so like we're probably going to be able to search our spells. I really like that, yeah. Blow something up. If you have Spell Chain, burn them. That's cool. Magic Missile. D&D reference. Whoa. 3 play points. Quick. Select an enemy follower on the field, deal it 2 damage, and draw a card. Replaces itself. 2 damage, not great, but it replaces itself. This card seems bad. I think you cut this as soon as you try to build anything else. This seems bad. Here's where our tokens come into play. Conjure Golem. Quick, put a Guardian Golem or a Strike Form Golem token into your EX area. What is an EX area? I have no idea, but I can't wait to find out when I read the rules. So for tokens, that's gonna be one of these guys. So we either make a Guard form who has Ward, who when he's engaged, so it's called engaged when they're turned sideways. If it has Ward, your opponent must attack it. So he's good for defense, right? You ward him and they have to attack this guy. Or you have a Strike form who has Rush. Followers with Rush can attack enemy followers on the turn they are put into the field. So you can't attack a leader the turn it comes into play, but you can attack followers. So you just smack them down and start killing followers. So this is removal if you want to deal followers, or protection if you're trying to play defense. So you kind of get to choose. I like that. I'm super down for that. That's very, very cool. Getting to the end here, we're into our generic cards. These are not class specific. They're neutral, craft, or whatever. You can play them whenever you want, whatever deck you want. Healing Angel. Fanfare, you give your leader +1, so it heals you for 1. Very cool. And then you can evolve her to get, I'm going to guess, more healing. You have 1 of her. Yep, on evolve, give your leader +2. So a good way to heal yourself if you're getting low on them life points. And then we have Angelic Snipe. We get 1 of this. Select an enemy follower on the field, deal 2 damage. Okay, just another way to shoot something for 2. And then Angelic Barrage. Deal 1 damage to each enemy follower on the field. So a way to mass ping everything. So yeah, that's the deck. 40 cards. Very starter decky, but you know, that's how it be. These things can't be bonkers broken right out of the gate, but it gives you the tools to do the deck's thing, and that's what matters, right? We get to summon, we get to do the golem, we get to cast our spells, make our guy, make our thick tokens, and hopefully play the game and not hate it. But I'm excited to see what this deck actually does. Thank you all for watching. If you like this video, maybe I'll film the other 20 decks that I bought. We'll see, but I'll post this and see if you all like it. But with that being said, thank you all for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Goodbye.